Morning, namaskar, sat shri akal, and salam. So, as I am instructed, I should communicate with you in Punjabi. So, I will try my best to communicate in that also. So, finally, respected principal, madam, faculty, students. So, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आपके बीच में यहाँ पे. So before I begin formally, so I would like to thank first of all my director Dr. P.K. Satyavali, who gave me an opportunity to communicate with you and present the lab activities as well as the DRDO activities in front of you. So I am also thankful to you, the college administration, especially Madam Meenakshi, who coordinated so well the whole activity. And that's all. And the main thing which जो है जिस करके अपन सारे इकट्ठे हुए यहाँ थे, that the connecting thing is that आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव. We should remember that जो देश के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने लास्ट ईयर जो स्टार्ट किया से उसी के उपलक्ष्य विच जो है लेक्चर सीरीज जो है DRDO ने जो है स्टार्ट की है. एंड आई एम आल्सो प्रेजेंटिंग ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ दैट थिंग. जो इनिशिएटिव जो लिया सी देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने, दैट वाज मेनली टू सेलिब्रेट द 75 इयर्स ऑफ द इंडिपेंडेंस, प्रोस्पेरिटी ऑफ द पीपल एंड द यूनिक कल्चर जो साडे देश की कल्चर है उसको सेलिब्रेट किया जाए. एंड सो दैट फाइनली वी कैन द देश के नागरिक मोटिवेट किया जाए सेल्फ डिपेंडेंस की तरफ, आत्मनिर्भर भारत की तरफ जो है. दैट वाज द मेन मोटिवेशन. सो आई वुड से फ्यू वर्ड्स के लाइक अपन सबनों पता है जो फ्रीडम है जो काफी स्ट्रगल तो बाद हासिल हुई सी जो कंट्री ਨੂੰ उसके विच सरदार भगत सिंह, राजगुरु सुखदेव और अपने लाला लाजपत राय, महात्मा गांधी और बहुत सारे जो अनगिनत देशभक्त उन्होंने स्ट्रगल तो बाद अपन जो आजादी मिली. APJ Abdul Kalam once had said, unless India stands up to the world, nobody will respect us. The fear has no place in this world. Only strength respects strength. So, अब recent example अभी बिल्कुल अपने सामने जो वार वाला सीन चल रहे हैं at the international level between Russia and Ukraine. So, that thing also we can connect with this thing. Although I had thought these words before, but I was while coming, was thinking. So the one country is fighting, another country is weak, they can attack. If both the countries and most of the countries are strong, I think they won't dare to act like that. So that is the message actually. The aim is not to have war, but I personally feel we should not have. So first of all, I would like to share some of the activities of my laboratory in which I am working as a part. That is Defense Geoinformatics Research Establishment. That's part of DRDO. This laboratory is basically spread out at a number of places. Our headquarters is at Chandigarh and our research development centers are at various places in the Himachal as well as Northeast. And we have also some mountain med centers at Srinagar Oli and this thing, Sasuma, and some field research stations at Dhundi and Petsu, where we are doing the basic and advanced research related to snow and avalanches. So, as such, our laboratory is mainly dealing in snow and avalanches, and recently we have started working on this landslides also, and we are providing mainly service to the army, BRO, and the border areas of Jammu Kashmir as well as Northeast, which has been expanded recently. So before I begin, I would like, आप में से स्नो कितने लोगों ने देखी है? वेरी गुड, बहुत मतलब इट्स नाइस टू सी। तो स्नो को देख के क्या कभी कोई आपको, आई एम श्योर कि आपको हमेशा अच्छा ही लगा होगा, इट्स फन, एंजॉय। कभी कभी डर लगा स्नो को देख के? ओके, क्यों डर लगा? आई वांट टू नो।
Sir, because I have seen snow, gathering, and
ओके मैडम,
this was in Sonmarg,
ओके ओके।
and we had to stay there in the cold for a long time.
I would like to clap. You have seen the real experience of avalanches, which is
Not
and
exactly avalanche, but it was
some experience of avalanches, but that is even rare for even us to see the live avalanches actually. Very otherwise we artificial avalanches, other things we are doing, there such all that. So बाकी को लिए मैं यही कहूँगा कि देखो स्नो को एज ए फन मटेरियल मोस्ट ऑफ अस विल सी, इवन आई हैड सीन लॉन्ग बैक स्नो के एज ए इट इज ऑलवेज सम फन प्लेइंग ऑल दैट थिंग, व्हेन इट कैन टर्न इनटू अ डेंजर आल्सो, that I will show today. That is the main thing, not to frighten you but give another picture of the same thing. Okay, even water we see actually it is so peaceful, it's our life, but sometimes they turn into floods and to these to storms. Air also turns, so we should not be fearful from that point of view. So जो हमारी लैब का जो मेन एजेंडा है वो है avalanche control, avalanche forecasting, avalanche control. So I would see if this video, I think some issues there. Video captured in this Jammu Kashmir area, and you just to give a glimpse of what actually the problem actually. So same snow which looks so funny and enjoyable, and sometimes turns into this type of activity. Okay. So coming to avalanche control, what we are doing, मतलब basically avalanche control वास्ते जो है, I think videos running is some issue is there. Okay.
sir, is the PPT से
बाहर ही आना पड़ेगा. For understanding this avalanche dynamics, what we are doing basically, real avalanches to get parameter is quite difficult, which we are trying at this thing, but still we are facing some issues with that. So we have created a snowshoot at Manali, near Manali, Dhundi place, and where we are actually studying the dynamics of these avalanches. Basically, force कितनी आ रही है avalanche की, उसका avalanche how far it will go, and how much friction is required to reach the avalanche at a particular place. All those parameters we are studying. So I would like to show some video again. So that's just the way how we are actually studying in the, you can say, in the laboratory scale, these avalanches. And at the same time, we are developing certain avalanche dynamics models, basically through computational fluid dynamics techniques, as well as some similar equations, depth average based equations. And the advantage of these models is that we can use these models in the entire Himalaya. The experimental work we can confine to a few sites basically, but this model work we can apply at various places and get some estimated results, through which based on that we can use those information in designing the various avalanche control structures. So this thing I'd like to share have been passed, and these structures are playing the role. The main here concept is basically these structures anchor the snow basically. Means they create a discontinuity in the whole snow pad, due to which the snow as a whole mass does not come down in the form of it. It does not let the snow convert into basically avalanche because of the discontinuity created by these structures. Like here is one structure at, this is also at the place only. Here we put this type of structure just to divert the avalanche, change the direction of the avalanche so that the desired area is protected from the avalanches. This is the another structure basically for the protection of avalanches. This is we call as snow gallery. This is 120 meter long. On the if you happen to go towards Rohtang, जो आप लोगों में से जो जिन्होंने स्नो देखी है, I think they must have gone towards Manali or Rohtang. This is the recent advancement there. Atal tunnel has been formed there. I would like to update you there, and is operational also. And we have made on that route basically this snow gallery. The purpose is that if any avalanche will come, it will just pass over its roof, and the traffic will keep on moving safely. So aim is to connect the people, army throughout the year, so that if any from defense point of view it has its significance, so that our army, our forces, they remain connected, they are not struck basically for any time. If anything like war or anything happens, this Manali Leh road remains open for most of the time, which right now it becomes blocked for almost 6 months, and the army and people can't move beyond Rohtang. So that is the purpose. This is another snow gallery. This also be adjacent to that area only. This is MSP3 gallery. This is also 135 meter length. The purpose is again same only. And this is another kind of structure we call as catch dam. This is something like a wall basically, and snow avalanche से जो है बिल्कुल रोड जो वाले उससे लगा चलता है, so that avalanche is just stopping there. Why we choose this thing, different kind of structures? This thing depends on the terrain. What kind of avalanche terrain we encounter, based on that we decide which kind of structure we have to install here basically. If the terrain is supporting the formation ground structures, that the structures at the top, we put the structure at the top. If sometimes the terrain is like that, there are so many boulders, patthar hai usme, so we can't install structures there. Then we come to the middle zone or the structures near the road. Top the protect basically the whatever road traffic or the whatever is coming the launch for. इसके नाल ही जो है ਅਸੀਂ कुछ avalanche triggering artificial triggering techniques भी use कर रहे हैं avalanches के लिए. That we use explosives in the top mountain peak basically. We put some explosive there with the help of helicopters, UAVs, and the army can move forward basically without any risk of their lives, anything, or their vehicles. That is the goal here. And recently we have the afforestation technique. Basically we have, this is one real avalanche site there, this photograph is there. We have growing basically plants which will in the future take the shape of trees, and they will act as structures basically to stop the snow to take the form of avalanche. So this is the our recent initiative in this thing. So coming to avalanche forecasting. Avalanche forecasting क्या है? जो है ਅਸੀਂ ਐਡਵਾਂਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ 1 ਵੀਕ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਆਰਮੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਐਵਲਾਂਚ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਕਿਨ ਏਰੀਆਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਣਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ what is their probability of coming so so that they can plan their movements. Basically aim is to help the army so that their minimum time is wasted actually, or their main thing is their life is not lost because of avalanches if they plan this thing. And sometimes they violate our this forecasting and many accidents still happen. They don't follow. Yeah, some you might have seen in the newspapers this accident, that accident. In majority, whatever is then armies, maybe they are forced to, because of their operations, because of the border requirements, they don't follow sometimes, and due to ignorance and other things, and accidents happen. But mostly our forecasting is okay in the this thing. When we have given forecasting, generally and avalanches mostly come. Understand this avalanche forecasting. What we have, a cold laboratory we have set up at Manali. This thing. In this laboratory, what we are doing, we are studying snow microstructure. This the X-ray microtomo machine. There we are studying the snow samples, basically their entire microstructure, strength properties, as well as the heat transfer, how heat transfer is happening and how those crystals are basically changing with these heat transfer phenomena, and what is the reason behind how the weakness is created in the snow which leads to avalanches. All those things we are studying here. At the same time, we do this instrumentation, the recording of parameters. Here also we have a number of models basically on which our scientists, our group of people are working. Here we have one snowpack model. This model, which basically has input of this automatic weather station data, is input to this model. It generates basically the snow microstructure properties, strength. Like here in this graph you can see how much temperature is changing within the snow, how the liquid water content is changing within the layer, and at what time basically the weakness will be created in the snowpack which can lead to the avalanches. The aim is to understand this time rate phenomena. This is transient phenomena, at what time the failure will be happening. So every hour we are studying this thing, the change in the snow properties, and then based on this we are issuing forecast to the army. This is one model. At the same time we are having a number of statistical models also, which are based on the past events. So avalanches ki past events, those are more or less statistical, less physics, but they are also equally used. So combination of these models we are using to issue the avalanche warning. Now we are giving direct, besides this avalanche forecasting and avalanche control, we are giving direct service to the army. Basically we are giving basic guidelines to them how to survive in the avalanche prone areas, how to safeguard them, how to move basically. Based on the experience which we have gained over the last almost 50 years, our people, we regularly keep on going in the snowbound areas, observing avalanches, all, and standard guidelines we have made, which we train every year to the gloves studies. Madam, I'm asking on that thing, this on climate change, those things, because the last year this lake burst and avalanche activities happened in the Uttarakhand area, that Rishi Ganga area. So after that, a lot of things happened in our laboratory also, and the committee invested, and we have taken some additional work also related to that. And this is Dr. Satish Reddy, who is the head of DRDO right now, and he had also visited and monitored our lab activities. We have one VR lab, that is virtual reality lab at Chandigarh also. Here we basically generate the artificial conditions of the entire mountain area. And the aim is to basically train the untrained people, army mainly the focus, and even other people also who want to venture into the mountain areas. And we can just on sitting in this like room, basically we can give lot of information to them, so that when they actually go in the field, they feel comfortable about that area, and unnecessary they don't do any mistakes. Some time back our laboratory was called SASE also, and some merger had taken place, and due to this name changing, and we had participated in this Republic Day celebrations also. Is the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which is the activities going on the last year. We had also some activities last year over this festival. Even during COVID also, our laboratory actually tried to help the local administration by distributing sanitizers, all these masks, everything. And we had even established one hospital also at Srinagar for this, to help the COVID patients at that time when this problem was at the peak basically. So that's all about my this DGRE part 1. Now I'll go to part 2 of my presentation, that is the DRDO. A very good morning to all of you.
Morning, sir.
Morning, namaskar, sat shri akal, and salam. So, as I am instructed, I should communicate with you in Punjabi. So I will try my best to communicate in that also. So, finally, so respected principal madam, faculty, students. So, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आपके बीच में यहाँ पे. So before I begin formally, so I would like to thank first of all my director Dr. P.K. Satyavali, who gave me an opportunity to communicate with you and present the lab activities as well as the DRDO activities in front of you. So I am also thankful to you, the college administration, especially Madam Meenakshi, who coordinated so well the whole activity, and that's all. And the main thing which जो है जिस करके सारे इकट्ठे हुए यहाँ थे, that the connecting thing is that आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव. We should remember that जो देश के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने लास्ट ईयर जो स्टार्ट किया ਸੀ, उसी के उपलक्ष्य ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ जो है लेक्चर सीरीज जो है DRDO ने जो है स्टार्ट की है. And I am also presenting on behalf of that thing. जो इनिशिएटिव जो लिया सी देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने, that was mainly to celebrate the 75 years of the independence, prosperity of the people and the unique culture जो साडे देश की कल्चर है उसको सेलिब्रेट किया जाए. And so that finally we can the देश के नागरिक मोटिवेट किया जाए सेल्फ डिपेंडेंस की तरफ, आत्मनिर्भर भारत की तरफ जो है. That was the main motivation. So I would say a few words के like अपन सबनों पता है जो फ्रीडम है जो काफी स्ट्रगल तो बाद हासिल हुई सी जो कंट्री ਨੂੰ, उसके ਵਿੱਚ सरदार भगत सिंह, राजगुरु सुखदेव और अपने लाला लाजपत राय, महात्मा गांधी और बहुत सारे जो अनगिनत देशभक्त उन्होंने स्ट्रगल तो बाद अपन जो आजादी मिली. APJ Abdul Kalam once had said, unless India stands up to the world, nobody will respect us. The fear has no place in this world. only strength respects strength. So अब रिसेंट एग्जांपल अभी बिल्कुल अपने सामने जो वार वाला सीन चल रहे हैं द इंटरनेशनल लेवल बिटवीन रशिया एंड यूक्रेन, सो दैट थिंग आल्सो वी कैन कनेक्ट विद दिस थिंग, although I had thought these words before, but I was while coming was thinking, so the one country is fighting, another country is weak, they can attack. If both the countries and most of the countries are strong, I think they won't dare to act like that. So that is the message actually. The aim is not to have war, but I personally feel we should not have. Okay. So I restart my talk. जो फर्स्ट पार्ट में जो मैं दिखाया था आपको DGRE, दैट इज वन लेबोरेटरी in which I am working. Second part of my lecture is Defense Research and Development Organization, looking ahead for next 25 years. So DRDO is basically an amalgamation of nearly 50 laboratories spread all across India. And I just want to mention here that वही लेबोरेटरी है जो जिसके हेड डॉक्टर APJ अब्दुल कलाम 92 to 99 से, जो who was Bharat Ratna, ex-president of India. At that time, the organization had gained new glories basically, especially in the missile area. Now this is the structure of DRDO. You can see that it is we are almost in the entire India spread out from north to east and south to west. In the entire area we have our laboratories, and every laboratory is working in its unique area depending on the defense requirements. And recently, under the initiative of Prime Minister, respectable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, 5 young laboratories, scientist laboratories have been created, who are excellently performing in their defined areas. And so DRDO was created in the 1st January 1958 with the main mandate of to provide assessment and advice on scientific aspects of weapons, platforms and surveillance sensors, to carry out research and cutting edge technology development for building a strong indigenous technology base, to design, develop and lead to production of state-of-art sensors, weapon system, platforms and allied equipment for our defense services, to support cyber architecture and develop cyber deterrence capabilities, to design and develop space-based defense capabilities. In any defense system, अगर अपन गल करिए तो मिसाइल्स जो है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती हैं. जो मिसाइल्स बेसिकली वी आर डिजाइनिंग बेसिकली बेस्ड ऑन दी एज इन war requirements, basically short range, medium range, long range, as well as depending upon the platform from where we want to launch. From land we want to launch, from air, from some aircraft we want to launch, or from some ship we want to launch. So this is the main criteria of the designing various missiles. So इन्हें बिच्चों कुछ मिसाइल्स आई श्योर कि आपने जरूर नाम सुने होंगे, जो है थ्रू सम मीडिया और अदर मेथड, जो ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल, all this which have been recently in the news also. So like this we have a large range of missiles which we are designing for the army, defense, for the navy as well as the Air Force. So I won't go into any details of this thing. Now coming to aeronautical systems, जिस तरह की technology is getting very advanced with every day actually. So the war game basically, I would say war game basically Actually go in the wars basically because of everybody knows it's the negative implications, but still we have to work on this thing, advance our technologies so that we are well equipped to face if anybody the opponent parties go wrong basically. Like recent we had some aggression from China, all that, so that we are ready to face those things basically. So in this direction basically DRDO has developed basically this unmanned aircrafts basically. They are very small vehicles without any human beings, but they gather very important timely information of the war area basically, the entire warfield area, how much any missile is coming, any ship is coming, any tank is coming on. They give the online information to the ground stations basically, so that the counter attacks or counter measures can be taken. So these are the some of the systems in this regard developed by DRDO. And then tanks comes. These are also very important in the land war system जो है. And I would to mention here the main battle tank that Arjun is considered one of the best tanks in the world, technology wise as well as performance wise. And these tanks are being used for doing other purpose also, like bridge laying also, which I'll explain in the coming slides also. These combat vehicles and engineering systems, we have some vehicles for repair, recovery in the warfield area. Some tracking we want to do of the area if any landman is not there or some plantation by enemies not there. All those recce's they do. So we have these vehicles also. So this is kind of bridge systems sometimes is required by the army, and which I was just mentioning in the previous slide. Is their army wants to cross the other side, but there some river comes, some big खाई बीच में आ गई है, तो उसके लिए then we have this type of bridge systems, and then army can easily cross and take the required measures. And then we have this closer fight के लिए जो armaments required है, those also we have well equipped, like this long range advanced tow array gun system, which has a very long range, but these are used in the closer wars basically, like that Kargil war, other wars, similar wars, and carbines, this Pinaka rocket system, and at this end, this ammunition, which is basically the destroying thing, which cause basically the problem to the area. This small guns, these are also being developed by DRDO. Now coming to radars basically. Radars is आप लोगों ने जरूर रडार्स के बारे में कहीं ना कहीं फिजिक्स में कहीं पढ़ा भी होगा या किसी और डिसिप्लिन में. तो radars play a very important role in this war game. Radars basically they detect basically the various obstacles, the airfield, any missiles, missiles or any ship, fighter craft, जो भी है उसकी, they give the complete information to the various जहाँ भी इनकी installation होती है वहाँ पे they give the information. Accordingly, these actions can be taken against the enemy. These are various designs depending upon the requirements, exact requirements of the. Similar to radars, we have sonars basically. Sonar is basically underwater applications. They also do the same purpose as radars basically, but they detect basically which may be attacking your systems. It is to locate that, and we have number of designs for that, for submarines and ships, which we are making. defense systems as well as in the many satellites like Chandrayaan, Reasat-1 satellite. So, so that technology is not duplicated. The same technology can be used at many places. Soldier support systems. So, in the बहुत tough conditions which काम करना पड़ता है soldier नो, that when high altitude there is lot of oxygen problem is there. Even when we go to field stations and problem happens, we have some instrument like this, one man hypobag, some breathlessness happens. सांस लेने में दिक्कत आ रही है जैसे किसी soldier को, then yes, that person is put inside. This team has been started. This is very recent. And then the certificate courses on artificial intelligence, other things have been started. And this for the काफी साल तो जो already ये चल रहा है कि this to meet the like in the what is with lot of shortage of manpower. So we fill these gaps through hiring JRFs, junior research fellows, senior research fellows, and field assistant, all this. And they also get a lot of exposure basically to DRDO, defense systems and all that. They also get upgraded in their career. So both ways it is a win-win situation for the country as a whole. Industry is also participating very well in the DRDO programs. Lot of industries are working hand to hand with the DRDO. So initially there were watertight compartments, things were working. Only DRDO means DRDO, nothing was getting out. Now we're getting out, taking lot of support from the industries, private industries. Again the aim is to attain this Atmanirbharta as early as possible. Instead of exporting the thing, importing the systems from outside, it is better to cultivate those things within the country. Free access to our facilities and transfer of technologies are taking place in a huge number to the industry so that we do research and development, they go in the production. The competition of each other can be used. 2019 Dare to Dream contest basically to promote the young generation for the innovation, and which first contest was in 19, which 20 awards were given, and then second in then 14 individuals were this. Basically the innovation promotion committee, and this thing is continuing. So to sum up basically I would say that we have achieved a good reliance in missiles, radar, electronic and many important systems of the defense required. But still it is not end basically. Still we have to go many miles ahead basically to achieve the ultimate self-reliance for the country as far as early as possible, so that we become strengthen the defense system of the country. मेरे को पूरी उम्मीद है कि जिसने make the India totally जो है import free. Thank you with these words.